you guys. Welcome to this episode of the Appalachian History Detectives. Today we are doing something that I have never done on video, and that is doing a restoration project on some of the finds that we have made over the courses of some of my videos. I'm outside. I want you guys to see the conditions that I'm in right now and what generated this video. I often get requests for a restoration video or showing what I do with all these axe heads, and I've never done a video like that. I typically I don't know how much of an interest my audience has in that, but as you can see, we got lots of snow on the ground. In fact, we got a foot of snow, and it was 2 below zero this morning. It's only 17 right now, and we're at the end of the day, and so we just can't go out and metal detect or explore. And let's get started. I am here with my son Braden. We are going to do some electrolysis on some objects, some axe heads, and some other implements. In the last video, I dug up an old axe head like this at an old house site, and I'd mentioned that I was going to restore that axe. In a prior video, I was with my cousin Brian, and I dug up this double-headed axe. And there's a couple other things here I found at some old house sites. I want to do this old mattock here, and this is what we call a roofing or a cedar shake hammer. And we're going to restore that as well. And here's one that I have already had restored right here. Now, I don't sharpen these. Some of these I will sharpen and have sharpened and have given them away as gifts. I want to give a huge shout out to Penny, who lives in Hollywood, California. She sent me this, and we're going to do a side-by-side comparison. This is a solution. All we have to do is soak the metal in, and it'll start pulling off the rust. The other one we're going to do is electrolysis. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We've got our number 8 wire. We got our steel wire here. We got our string. We got our rebar. We got our solution that we're going to put in there. We got our jumper cables and our battery. I'm going to take a wire brush, and we're going to brush off all the loose stuff that we can. You can see the rust has really pivoted this iron here. That's good. We'll put that right there. We can get with this. This one's not too bad. Pretty good.
To lift out of that sink.
What's that?
Do you not think that's not going to be too heavy for us to lift out of the sink?
The two of us, we're not going to fill it up. Probably even put about a foot of water in there, right? Okay, so we'll put that right here. All right. Our first one we're going to do is the gallon of vapor rust. The directions say just to go ahead and pour it into a basin, and we're going to put it in this plastic basin here. It says that it works best in conditions of 65 degrees, and we're in a garage, and this garage is unheated, so it's probably 55 degrees. This is just going to be a show piece. It's not going to be a piece where I put a handle in it. This one here, I actually do plan on putting a handle in it because it's actually a pretty nice piece. I'm going to give that 24 hours, and we're going to give this 24 hours. Braden's working on this now. Probably enough water.
So that's good.
We have to put 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon.
Yeah, so we're going to have a lot.
Now this is the first time I've ever used this. And if this works, I have a lot of small little iron objects that I want to put in there. Like pieces from gates, maybe some pocket knives, things like that. Got enough?
Yep.
All right. What we're going to use as the rebar is actually landscape. We got some landscape spikes here. What's nice about these, I don't know if you guys can see the holes there, but the holes there is exactly the diameter of our copper wire. And that is a number 8 wire. You probably don't need that big of a wire. What, 3 in there? We're not sure if we want to put 3 or 4 or just 2, but
I say we do 3.
so what we'll do is we'll put the copper, we'll tie the copper off here, and we'll take it over to this, and he's going to take it over to that too. Then over here we'll put a bar across this, a piece of wood or a piece of PVC, and then we will actually hang the iron object down, and we might have to, I might have to get a drill and try to drill that out, because that's really heavy. And what we've done here, you don't want to use stainless steel and you don't want to use galvanized wire into that solution. But this is wire that is used for rebar. Actually, it's used for tying rebar chairs on the foundation, the footer. The number 8 wire that we have is thicker than it should be, but it fits our purposes really good because it fits right into the rebar. And we've got 6 foot of copper wire. Let me hold this.
Yeah, I just want to bend it around these.
All right. You just want to pull the slack through.
Yep.
There you go. At a lot of sites I go to, we dig up axe heads. In fact, the last site I went to, I uncovered 3 axe heads. A lot of those I will give to the landowner. Some of those I restore. Some of those I restore and put a hickory handle on them and give those to the landowner as a gift for, you know, getting the permission there. They all seem to like that. And, you know, I get a lot of requests for doing this. And some of these I have mailed out to some of my Patreon fans. But it is a long process. And again, like I said, we'll try this for 24 hours. And it'll probably take, it could take a week. This, I'm very interested in learning what this will actually take and see what this actually does. Now we have got to wire this up so it doesn't fall off in there.
Yeah, we also need to wire this onto the tub so that way it doesn't roll.
Yeah, we've got the holes right here.
Yep. Yeah, so we can just tie it off with a string. Absolutely. Keep that from moving. There you go. Yep. I can hook the cable up to that.
What we're going to do is we're going to get the battery. It's always helpful if you check your battery to see if the thing is even. We just pulled a battery out of an old vehicle that hasn't been run in a year or 2
Or 3.
or 3. So we don't even know if there's juice on that battery.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Well, we got a battery charger. Now it's important to know where you connect the positive and where you connect the negative. Do you know?
I know.
Where do you connect the positive and where you connect?
Positive is going to go to your rebar, and the negative is going to go to this.
Are you sure?
Very sure.
Okay.
Because your electrons are going to flow from your negative to the positive and
Okay.
of your rust.
Just checking. We don't want our cats jumping on this thing.
Yeah, that could be a problem. Get a nice Solid connection there. Well, there's your positive and there's our negative.
All right, do we know if there's any juice in that? I see bubbles.
There you are.
All right, you guys, so we got our liquid from a bottle. We're gonna see how that works, and then we're doing electrolysis here with the battery, and we're gonna see how that looks. And in 24 hours, we're gonna come back here, and we're gonna check this, and we're gonna see how well each of these solutions work. All right, you guys, welcome back. I'm here with my son. I apologize for the echo. We're in a garage right here. We're going to check our axe head, our double axe head that we found. And we're going to check these two implements that I found. This one is electrolysis. I did using a battery, a jumper cables onto some copper here. And we have our wire going down to our axe head. We'll pull that out. This, we used this solution here. It's called a Vapor Rust, heavy duty rust remover. Removes rust down to the bare metal. Now, I've never used this. May cause skin and eye irritation. Avoid contact with skin and eyes. Wear gloves. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these things out. Oh, wow. That does look like, okay, so here it is. Oh, that looks brand new. Doesn't it? That looks brand new. So this thing's been in the ground for 100+ years. And that looks great. So we'll put that right there. Man, look at that. This has been in the ground probably the longest of all of these instruments. So what we'll do is we'll knock off the dirt, because that's what's on here now. I'm impressed with that. Absolutely impressed with that. I don't know if you guys saw the before, but man, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And this looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks real good. Okay, so this is electrolysis. So let's see what this looks like. All right, now you can see that looks black. That almost looks like that, doesn't it? Versus that. So let's see. It's still got quite a bit of rust on there. So it's coming off. I don't think we're done with it though. Look at that. I'm almost tempted to put this in that. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to think we ought to try it in that solution.
Sure.
All right, you guys, so here's what it looks like electrolysis. And I mean, it did a pretty good job, pretty decent job. But you can clearly see it needs more than 24 hours. It could take days. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stick this in there. I'm impressed. I am absolutely impressed. This is ready to go. I don't know if you guys can see that. That is, I mean, that looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks pretty great.
That looks pretty good. Now this one here, I mean, it took all the rust off. All right, when you consider this was done electrolysis, it's about the same. So this took days and days of electrolysis in that. So I'm actually pretty impressed with that. I'll give this another day and pull it out and see if we can't clean it up a little bit better, like these ones here. But man, I'm telling you what, that is beautiful. It still even has a sharp edge on it. I'll go down and get a handle for those. Typically you want to use hickory because hickory is a hard, durable wood and it's got a great hard grain. I think it'd be perfect for that. This, you know, I'm not going to sharpen that because this wouldn't be much left of it. We got this axe head to do next. I'll try putting it in that. Now that's pretty good. All right, you guys, I had to move our operations down here in my basement. We are going to clean this up a little bit more. And I could grind this, I could smooth this really smooth to near new, right down to the base metal, but I'm not going to do it. I still want to keep it somewhat in its raw form. I went to the hardware store and I bought, I don't know, let me pull this back here. I bought this hickory handle here, and this hickory handle is actually for a sledgehammer. They didn't have anything that quite fit the hole of that mattock head. But this one almost does. I think I can make it work. We're going to see if we can't get this thing restored with a handle. Just try to get the worst of it off. And I can do this after I get the handle on it. But you can see how smooth, silvery, you start to see the base metal coming out right there. We'll do this a little bit. Get some of that rough off. Get all the rough edges off. There we go. What we're going to do is, I just want to get the worst of it off. But this still wool. Nice and sharp. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unwrap the wood handle here. Right now the issue is, I don't know if you can see how far up the crack is. So we got to come down with the crack. I got to pull the crack down a little further. So when I draw the wedge in, it flares this out. I've cut it down about that much further. And that will enable me to drive a wedge. So what I'll do is I'll mark this and I'll cut this off. Well, that was fast.
Go ahead and take a look.
The steel bit they gave us, it's round. So I put on some wood glue here. Put some wood glue liberally here. I'm gonna tap it. There we go. Now we will pin in our wedge. I'm going to use the bigger one here. We'll cut this off. I'll use my jigsaw for that. There we go. Now I'll oil this, treat it a little bit. I'll let that dry, and we have just restored our mattock. What do you think?
Pretty good.
Pretty good, not bad. That's solid. All right, you guys, I brought it out here in the sunlight to let you see. You can see how shiny this thing is now. Got a nice edge on it. You'll never know that this old mattock is probably 150, 200 years old, maybe even older. I don't know. All right, you guys, this is all I'm going to do to it. I'm not going to take it down to the bare metal, which would actually make it usable. This double hatchet head could be usable, but I just wanted to show you what I do to arrest it. And arrest it means to get it to a point where allowing something to decay to a certain point, and then you keep it at that point. And that's what I'm doing with this axe head. All right, you guys, so here's another one I've been working on. And I've already started grinding it down. And I'm taking out the old wood. Who knows how old this wood is. Probably over 100 to 150 years old. But one thing I can see is very interesting to me is look how much they have ground down this hatchet. This hatchet was probably way out here at one point in time, and this was the wood here, and they have ground it down to that point right there. And that tells me that this was a well-used hatchet, that this hatchet served its owner a good long time. You know, I'm glad we found it. It could be usable. It could have another axe handle in it, and this could be a display piece. And what you normally would do is you'd put like either an oxide red on this or an oxide black paint on this, and that'll keep it from corroding any further. All right, there you go. There's another one. Feels nice and smooth, just beautiful. I'm finishing up here. I'm cleaning up. Normally I would not advise to be doing this kind of thing in the basement. It's 8 degrees outside, and we probably got at least a foot of snow on the ground, so we're right in the dead of winter here. So it's really cold out there, and it's really cold in that garage. And since I already had everything prepped and prepared, I felt it was okay to do that in here. Here's one that I've already had done, and this one here was treated. It's a black oxide is what it is. So this one only had electrolysis done on it, and that's it, just electrolysis and then painted. And so that's what we're going to do with those other two I just showed you. And the mattocks that's in the video, well, that one is going to be actually put to use. All right, you guys, this is my mount here that we made the other day in a prior video, and I am going to take this knife off of here, and I'm going to pour it in some liquid here, and we're gonna see if we can't get some of this rust off of here and open this knife up. All right. Let's get started. All right, so I have some of this called Evaporust. It's a heavy-duty rust remover. It says no scrubbing, reusable, and easy to soak. So what we're gonna do is let's get the lid off of here. Let's pour us see if that's enough. We'll put this in the sink. Let's take our pocket knife that we found and let's stick it right in there. And you know, I got a couple other rusty items that might be worth taking a look at too. I've got 1, 2, 3 other pocket knives. But these aren't in very good condition, so I don't know. This one probably could. Let's stick that one in there. Let's stick it in there. It's a little bit big, but we'll get it in there. And then I thought that might be a big square nail, so I won't need that. We'll just go ahead and see what this does with these. So what we'll do is we'll give this 24 hours, and then in 24 hours we'll come check on it. Okay, so these are the pocket knives that we put in the solution, and I have to admit they've been in here more than a 24-hour time period. The directions say to give it at least 24 hours. I put it in here for probably about 3 days. So what we're going to do is we are going to rinse this off. We're going to take a look at it. Boy, I tell you what, I can't see where that has actually lessened the rust off of there, but we'll see. Let's just rinse these off for now. We'll stick them over here to dry. We'll turn this off, and well, while those are drying off, you can see that this will be in an upcoming video, probably in another week or two. This will be an upcoming video, probably in another 2 or 3 weeks. And this you have seen, I believe. Some of this you have seen. Yeah, you've seen this in a past video. If not, I think it was about 3 videos back. And let me move this out of the way. This you have not seen yet, what I found here. Yeah, you have. Yeah, so this is the one that had the coin that I dug from the Monongah mines, and that large cent right there. And over here is our axe heads. This one was done in the chemical, and this one was done in the electrolysis. And if you look at them, they look pretty much the same. So actually, I can't say that one works better than the other. But I can tell you the chemical one is actually easier to do, the Evaporust. If this is something you want to do at home on an object that you have, I'd recommend going out and getting that Evaporust, just pouring it in a container and just following the directions. Now, I never filmed this object, but what do you think that could be. Is that a miniature iron? Is that a decoration? Look at that. It almost looks like an iron, a piece of a hot iron, but man, it's so small, it's really small. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this one off. We're going to get all the dirt rinsed off of here, any of the loose rust. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to stick this one in here too. We're going to take some more of this and we're going to cover it thoroughly. Like that. We're going to let that soak. Now I probably won't put that in the video. I'll probably put some pictures of that in another video, just to give you guys an update on if we can ID what that is. So the pocket knives actually did not seem to get any better than what we have already done prior to putting it in there. This steel blades are pretty rusted thoroughly, pretty matted in there. And I don't want to damage that knife any more than it is. And it's the same with that. And that's okay. That's all right. Well, we got a bunch of them, don't we? There's a pocket knife. There's a pocket knife. Lots of pocket knives. I find lots of pocket knives. All right, you guys. So here is the paint that I'm going to use. It's called a Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. And we are going to use it on this mattock's head here, these two axe heads here, and this hatchet head here. Now I've already taken all the rust off of this that I want to take off. We'll do this one first. So we'll start on this side here. Now, this is not the black paint that I have done on other restoration projects. There is a black paint that they have, Rust-Oleum makes for this, but I'm actually going to use this brown coat. So this is my first time using this brown coat. We're going to see how this goes. Supposedly this paint here is better than that other. And this will keep it from progressing any further. It's not a perfect job, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, you guys, this is how it's looking so far. They're not dry yet. You can see how the brown stain looks. There's the single axe head. This is the shingle hammer I found. It's looking pretty good. This is the mattock's head here. It's looking real good. And you can see that it just gives it a nice brown, not quite brown, but it's got a brown hue to it. And these are some that I did that are black. This is done electrolysis. This one is by chemical. This is by chemical. That's by electrolysis. These are all by electrolysis here. And that is by chemical. And to be quite honest with you, I'm very impressed with the chemical versus the electrolysis. Very, very impressed. All right, you guys. So here is the finished product. It's all dry, and that's how it looks. There's the double axe head we dug out of the ground at my great-great-great-grandparents' house. Here is the shingle hammer that I found at an old 1700s, late 1700s, early 1800s site. This is one of the axe heads I found at my great-great-great-great-grandparents' house here. And this is using the Rust-Oleum. This one here is using the black. And here is the mattocks. I don't know if you can see that. It's all nice and sealed. So tell me, you guys, can you tell the difference between the electrolysis or the liquid solution? And do you like it with the brown stain or just the solid all black? All right, you guys, thanks for joining me this episode. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Very uncharacteristic to what I do, but I'm just showing you what I do in my downtime, when the weather's bad outside, and when we can't get out and detect. We'll see you on the next episode.